What's up, everyone? It's Michael here, aka Dangstrat. I hope all is well. Today is Monday, May 26th, and it's 4:09 p.m. as I make this video. Here's my weekly outlook for the upcoming week. So, starting off with DXY on the daily chart, you can see here that we rejected this daily fair value gap, and then we started trading lower last week. So, currently, right now, I will look at this low here to be the next higher time frame draw on liquidity. Right now, we're probably going to form another fair value gap here on the daily time frame. And then here is Monday's candle. We will see if we can get a deviation on Monday's high tomorrow, or during the middle of the week, and then look for reversals down to this low here. So this will also be a breaker on the daily time frame. So again, ideally looking for a reversal within this daily fair value gap here that forms after today's close. So this is my current setup that I am watching for DXY on the daily and H4 time frame. If you go to EU now on the daily time frame, you can see that again last week we set Monday low of the week and then we traded higher rest of the week. You can see here on the daily fair value gap here after price closed above this level here on Monday. Then Tuesday we had to flip bias once price closed back within this range. So again, now that we have a closure back within this range, this would be your deviation of this higher time frame range. And you can see Thursday we retested the range low, held that level, and then Friday saw continuation higher. So now we have Monday's high here, and then we'll form Monday's low somewhere here, and then now I am looking for Monday range play for this week. So basically looking for a deviation of Monday's low, potentially retap this down close candle here, and then look for higher prices. So let's see it, say Tuesday it's a down close, or it goes lower, takes out Monday's low, hits this level, and then potentially Wednesday, look for a setup to Monday's high. And then Thursday, ideally I would like to see, rest of the week, target this range high here for EU. More specifically, the upside target, the short-term one, I will be looking at this high here, and then that also is just right above Monday's high, and then the range high would be an additional target. So right now, I'll set my alerts at this order block or down close candle on the daily time frame, and then again looking for a deviation of Monday's range. So essentially looking for something like this. This would be my ideal scenario going into this week, and then this here higher time frame deviation of this range. So again, this is ideal scenario for EU. And moving over to GU, talked about this last week, how after taking out this, that could have been low of the week. This was looking pretty bullish on the daily time frame last week. Talks about how we fully filled this weekly fair value gap, and then we got a change in the state of delivery after closing above this down close candle here, and then we, as you can see, traded higher for the rest of the week. So again, ideally we'll see what sets up here. We've taken out a lot of upside targets. It looks like we may have some equal highs right here. So, that could be the next upside target for GU. But, right now I will probably focus on EU. But yeah, we'll see. Moving over to ES, going into this week, I'm seeing some pretty clean ranges that we can work with for this week. So here is range high and then range low. This would be your deviation of the range. And then now we formed, I'm going to move this line here for now. Now we formed an order block here on the H4 time frame, and it also lines up with this H4 fair value gap. So, I will set some alerts right here for this week, looking for potential longs. If we can retest basically this range low or this H4 order block here for ES, and same idea with NQ. You can see equal highs right here. I am leaning more towards NQ. I think these equal highs are a nice target there. So here is the order block for NQ on H4, and then also on the daily time frame, you can see that we tagged, this big imbalance down here. So, ideally, I want to see a close above the previous day's open, and then again on the H4 time frame, looking for a retest basically on the range low, and then longs to the range high here for NQ. Moving on to BTC. So we'll zoom out onto let's zoom out to the weekly chart first. You can see that we have formed a weekly fair value gap here for BTC, and right now we're kind of trading just right under that previous all-time high level. I'm not exactly sure what happens next on the short term. This is low resistance liquidity. We could just get, I know a lot of people are looking for this trade back into this weekly fair value gap, and then trade higher. This would be the most ideal scenario, but yeah, we'll see. We might get one more raid before we do that, and then go from there. So this is kind of my ideal scenario for BTC. It would make a lot of sense, for this to tag this weekly fair value gap, and also that is the midpoint of this range. So usually, when we take out range highs, I typically see price retraced. If it continues higher, it either holds the range high or it hits that level, retraces to the midpoint, and then reverses from there. So this is kind of what I'm eyeing for BTC, but we'll see. So that is it for this week. I hope all is well, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.